What up, nerds? I put up a couple podcasts yesterday from September 29th and 30th of 2016, and it was interesting to go back and hear a lot of the same. It's an election year, so what are you going to hear? The evils of white supremacy. Remember, the statistic is 0.03% of the population is, quote unquote, a self-described white supremacist, because the media is selling you that everything that Donald Trump touches is white supremacy. They're conflating this 0.03% to half the country, which allows them to vilify, which allows them to continue, if you're still engaging with their content, if you haven't completely checked out, on all sides of the aisle, fine propagandists on both sides of the aisle selling you nonsense day in and day out. So for the show today, I wanted to dip in here and say, well, we got some, let's see, a Kiss double shot. I got some AC/DC, they're back. A little bit of Suicidal, some Beastie Boys, some Delight. I've got nonsense from exploding Christmas ornaments to probably some kind of wrestling with an alligator, ballot stuffing, and probably talk about a lot of things that we shouldn't be talking about, because that is what your freedom of speech allows you to, folks. And so let's start internationally. Again, go to what's happening right now with the meltdown that's happening on Twitter, the meltdown that's happening in the media, the fact that they are completely losing their minds trying to show that quote unquote white supremacy, and whoever they put it, what's up, the Proud Boys. And I tell you, as soon as I heard the name, no, that doesn't do anything for me. This, like, Antifa doesn't do anything for me. They were the same kids in the 90s who were the ARA, anti-racist action, who had a beef with you until they showed up at your show and saw your black guitar player and were suddenly confused. And so, you live through an experience like that, and you just kind of look at the whole movement like, are these adults? No, these are children who are fist fighting in the streets. So I'm not surprised that the media needs some kind of meat, something to hang around the neck of Donald Trump. And so what they've done is they've taken a Cuban Afro-American led movement of what they're calling themselves as Western chauvinists, and they're painting that whole group as white supremacist, even though they have mixed everybody is in the group. So, and enjoy that for the meltdown for what it is. Internationally, Mike Pompeo went to, he wanted to get a meeting with the Vatican, and the Pope was like, no. The Pope said no to Mike Pompeo, the same Pope who works hand in hand with the Chinese Communist Party, the same atheist Communist Party that drove the Christians and Catholics in their own country in an underground church, the same CCP that is the one that appoints the bishops for the Catholic Church on behalf of the Vatican. Not the Vatican appointing the bishops to be who are going to work in China. No, it's the atheist communists who are telling the bishops who are going to be in charge there in China. If you're not seeing this for the absurdity that it is, and beyond that, in one of their technical textbooks today, where we talked about last week, we talked about textbooks and how, 2/3 to half of millennials don't know what the Holocaust is. And you're going to have all of a sudden, it's going to be covered less and less in the textbooks. And then there's going to be a textbook where it's not in there at all. And then there's going to be a textbook in there that says that the Republicans started the KKK. There's going to be something in the textbook that says the Civil War is the responsibility of the Republicans. That the word demon doesn't mean demon, it means police officer. That a riot doesn't mean riot, it means whatever they're saying that it means. That if you decry critical race theory, no, it's not critical race theory. Come on, it's racial sensitivity training. See the goof for what it is. So anyways, Pompeo, he wanted to get a meeting. They said no. The same group that says when they changed the textbook that when Jesus encountered the adulterer, that Jesus stoned the adulterer to death. That's what's being included currently right now in textbooks in China. While our own textbooks here in the United States are completely, well, would you be shocked to find out how many textbooks are we away from, oh, Hillary Clinton was the president in 2016? Why wouldn't we see that? We're seeing, you want to see this 1984 happening right in front of you. Go to the Facebook page right now, and I've got 4 pictures over there. First one is a release from March 25th from the New York Department of Health. It's an advisory, hospital discharges and admissions to nursing homes. COVID-19 has been detected in multiple communities through New York State. This is an urgent need to expand hospital capacity in New York State. Remember they had the hospital ship that was unused? Do you remember when they had the field hospitals that were unused? Do you remember when they built all of that infrastructure, and what they did is they took the people with COVID and they put them in the most vulnerable category of people, which were the people who were living in nursing homes. And so what we have here is a release from March 25th that said expedited receipt of residents returning to hospitals to NHS. Residents are deemed appropriate for return to a NH. What's an NH? Nursing home, upon determination that they're medically stable for return. Let's just send the sick ones back in there. What's the next page? Let's see, 4,500 virus patients sent to a nursing home. That was on May 22nd. That from the Associated Press. Here is, let's see, when was this one? This is May 27th from Daily Mail. New York Health Department website quietly deletes controversial Cuomo order that forced nursing homes to admit coronavirus patients led to 5,000 deaths. And finally, the last picture is Governor Cuomo himself, when asked the question about why he did it, looks at him and says, it never happened. That's how everything gets changed. That's how they're changing the language to change your beliefs. They're changing the very history that you lived in. Because again, it's whoever writes the history books down the line. Okay? You see the people who are fighting for civil rights, and you see the picture of the fire hose. You're going to see a picture of the words anti-fascist, and it's not going to matter that they burned down every city that they rioted in. It's not going to matter. You're going to see people marching behind Black Lives Matter. And even though you've done the deep dive that says this is a Marxist organization that is anti-American and anti-family, that's not going to make it to the textbook, folks. It's just going to be that image. So you got to wonder how much of this history is being changed right in front of us. With 2 minutes left, can I get this done? During the debate, which hopefully you guys enjoyed that smash mouth version of that debate. I was thoroughly enjoyed watching that. When asked, hey, 1.5 billion to China, he says, let's say, hey, your kid Hunter Biden got 1.5 billion from China. No, he didn't. Well, here's proof of a receipt that he received 3.5 million from the wife of the mayor of Moscow. No, he didn't. Just completely lying to you when you know what the facts are. And those same people, I had one final point here. Oh yeah, and why aren't they asking, in fact, this is what this all is going to come down to. Let's ask some very, very simple questions. Biden, are you going to pack the court? Yes or no? He won't answer because his answer is his policy, and he can't say what his policy is. Remember how, hey, we'll tell you what's in the bill after you vote for it. I'll tell you what I believe in after I'm president. Are you going to make D.C. and Puerto Rico a state? That's a question you could ask him. You think he's going to answer that? No. So you're going to wake up, folks, like I said, you're either going to wake up to a 70-30 blue over red or a 70-30 red over blue. We're going to have peace moving throughout the homeland with the continuation of American values, or you're going to know very, very quickly that it has been a broken arrow situation, that the insurrection is not only currently succeeding, they've already have the plans to do it. And that's taking over the White House, taking over the Senate, packing the Supreme Court, and taking your guns away. The same people, the same corporatocracy who is hiding the concentration camps there in China, have them ready for you here in the United States if you believe in God, if you believe in America, if you believe in freedom, and you believe in your Second Amendment rights. The freedom of speech and freedom of thought is dangerous to the state that is here to lord over you and ensure that you become a slave.